Joining me right now is former U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales. He is the author of the new book, True Faith and Allegiance. Good morning, Judge. Good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. It's good to be with you.
So I'm going to get your reaction to all of this talk about Russia. I mean, I seem to remember quite clearly it was President Obama who whispered in the ear of then Prime Minister Medvedev to say, or he was president at the time, I will have more flexibility, tell Vladimir Putin, I will have more flexibility after the election. And it seems that there's a lot more ties between Putin and Obama and Secretary Clinton than Donald Trump. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we have to remember that we're in the sort of silly season right now, that we're in a political campaign, and there are going to be outrageous claims, honestly, made by both sides in order to win political points. But obviously, you know, we watch Russia very carefully. Obviously, what they do around the world is something of great interest to us. But because they are a powerful nation, they can be very helpful in dealing with certain problems that we need help with. For example, in Syria. And so the notion of having some kind of relationship with them is not a totally bad thing. But again, some of the comments yesterday from President Obama, I just chalk up to we're in the political season.
I see. So have U.S.-Russian relations changed in the post-9/11 world, where the war on terror has been the top priority?
I think it's ebbs and flows depending on circumstances. I don't know that I would trust Russia implicitly. I think that, you know, they can be helpful, but obviously they're going to be doing some things that are in their best interest and not necessarily consistent with our best interest. And so we just simply, you know, have to deal with them, I think, with that kind of mindset. You
obviously were in a very important place during the beginning of the war on terror. You're defending that in your new book, True Faith and Allegiance, in your new memoir. What are you trying to communicate, Judge?
Well, one of the things I try to communicate is all of the difficult decisions that President Bush had to make, and those of us who advised him. Some of them were controversial, but one of the things I hope that readers come away with is that how hard we worked to try to get it right, particularly in terms of the difficult legal issues that arose. Many of these legal issues we had not seen since World War II. Some of the legal issues we had never seen before, such as how do you deal effectively and legally with a non-state actor. And so hopefully that, you know, I don't shy away from any of the controversial issues. They're all in the book, beginning with Guantanamo, military commissions, enhanced interrogation techniques, electronic surveillance. It's all in there, and hopefully the readers will have a better understanding of the reasons why these decisions were made and the rationale behind them.
So once we understand what took place and where we are right now, the next question is, where are we going? We know that Donald Trump has talked about expanding the military, investing in the military, and getting tougher. Hillary Clinton has said she wants to continue many of the policies of President Obama, and that we need Middle Eastern friends help to actually take down ISIS. What is the right path going forward?
Well, I do believe we do need Middle Eastern friends. This is not something that we can be successful alone. However, I do worry about, I think, the changing viewpoint about America around the world. I think we are America. We are the beacon of hope and democracy, and we're expected to lead. And I worry that we sort of step back from that. I think the common phrase is we're leading from behind. And I just think that puts the United States in a very dangerous and precarious position. I worry that we are less safe today than we were, say, on 9/11 15 years ago. The threats have evolved. And I think the United States needs to be very forceful in terms of trying to influence outcomes overseas. And I'm not suggesting we put troops on the ground, but I think we need to influence outcomes so that we don't have outcomes that are contrary to our interests. So I do worry about where we are today in foreign policy.
Have you made a decision to support Donald Trump for president?
You know, I'm a lifelong Republican. I hope to vote Republican, but I'm an American first, and I'm going to vote in terms of who I believe is best for America, best for me and for my family. Listen, we still have two months before the election. We had 3 presidential debates coming up. We've got time to make this decision, which is a very important one because it is a very dangerous time around the world for us. Also, we have some serious domestic policy issues that we need to confront, like the deficit. So I'm going to make a very informed decision. I encourage all of your viewers to do the same.
All right, so you want to watch these debates, and you want to make sure you're solid before coming out publicly and endorsing the Republican candidate. Let me ask you about what's going on the Democratic side. Judge, because two witnesses yesterday at a House hearing on Hillary Clinton's email server pled the fifth yesterday, while a third failed to show. As a former Attorney General, should a special prosecutor have been appointed to investigate Hillary's email server?
That's a difficult one for me to answer. I do know that the unfortunate conversation that occurred between Loretta Lynch and former President Bill Clinton at the airport, I think that was very unfortunate for the investigation. And, you know, some AGs may have taken that alone as a basis to appoint a special prosecutor, because in the end, it's not about the Attorney General's involvement in the case that's important. What is important is that we have total confidence in the justice system, that it's going to be impartial in the way it conducts its investigation and in the decisions it makes to move forward with the prosecution. And so what I worry about what happened here is it appears that as a result of that conversation, Attorney General Lynch sort of stepped away entirely from this case, and as a result, it fell entirely to Jim Comey. Most of your viewers probably do not understand. The FBI reports to the Attorney General. The FBI Director reports to the Attorney General. And at the end of the day, the FBI is responsible for investigations. They present whatever they find to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors decide whether or not the case should move forward or not. And it seems to me in this case, it was sort of turned on his head, and the investigator, Jim Comey, made the decision not to move forward with the prosecution, and that troubles me.
So, I mean, this is your, obviously, successor, Loretta Lynch. If you were sitting on your plane as Attorney General and you got the message from your aide saying Bill Clinton wants to come up to the plane and talk to you, and you know that Hillary Clinton is going to be testifying, or not testifying, but doing an interview with the FBI 2 days later, what would you have said to your aide? What should she have done? I mean, should she have said, listen, I can't take the meeting? What would you have done?
Yeah. Yes, I think it would have. Look, at most, you would go and say hello to the president as a matter of courtesy, and say, you know, hello, you know, obviously because of the circumstances here involving your wife,
right,
you know, we can't have a conversation. Or it would have been totally appropriate to simply say, send back a message to say, because of the circumstances involving your wife, you know, it wouldn't look good for either the wife or for the Attorney General to have any kind of conversation.
Right.
Or meeting.
Or how about having an aide on the plane? I mean, have you ever seen a situation where such an important position doesn't have someone taking notes? There was no one else on the plane.
Yeah, you mean, oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, that would not be unusual. Typically, right, a private meeting like that would likely occur where you would not have anybody on the plane.
Right.
So,
I guess, Judge, what I'm getting at, Judge, real quick, actually, is have we become incredibly politicized? I mean, you see what happened with Loretta Lynch on the plane with Bill Clinton. Then you look at Jim Comey testifying with the FBI investigation. You look at the IRS targeting conservatives. What's going on?
Well, certainly there's the appearance of politicalization at the Department of Justice, and that is troubling to me, and that's something that we should worry about, and something the Attorney General has an obligation to address, because the department should be viewed as a department that operates without any kind of bias.
Right.